Are you tired of hearing your blood tests look normal from your doctor, even though you don't feel fine? As a naturopath who's helped thousands of clients optimize their health, I've found the standard CBC and CMP tests that most doctors run are just scratching the surface. What if I told you there were some crucial health markers that your regular blood tests are missing? In this video, I'm going to reveal the 5 essential blood tests your doctor most likely isn't running, and why these are so important and can give you invaluable insights into your cardiovascular health, inflammation levels, and metabolic function. Many people don't even realize these tests exist or even how to get them. By the end of this video, you'll understand why these tests like Apo B, ferritin, high sensitive C-reactive protein are so important and how they can help you control your health. And more importantly, how you can easily get these tests either from your doctor or other places. Imagine your body is like a high performance car. And just like a car needs a regular checkup to ensure it's running smoothly, your body requires periodic assessments to maintain optimal health. But here's the catch. The standard tests like the CBC, CMP, they're like checking the oil, checking the tire pressure. Both are important and crucial for running of the car, but they're missing so many other aspects of how the car runs. Just like in these more advanced tests, they can help to analyze why your body may not be functioning right before more serious problems happen, and give you vital information, and that can help you proactive in preventing illness in the long run. You might be wondering where you can get these blood tests or why my doctor is not doing them. The thing is, your doctor can order most of these, but they usually don't. After we go through these essential blood tests, I'll explain where you can get them from, even with your doctor or without a doctor's referral. I work with clients in the US, Australia, Europe, and I can give you tips on where you can order these tests anywhere. So let's have a look at these 5 essential markers. And the first one is apolipoprotein B, which is a bit of a mouthful, which is why everyone calls it Apo B. And it's a crucial marker for cardiovascular health that's often overlooked in the standard lipid panels. It directly measures the potentially harmful particles in your blood, like LDL, VLDL, and lipoprotein A. Levels range from 40 to 120, but ideally you want to be less than 90, and it's lower the better. So especially if you're at high risk of heart disease, you want to have low Apo B. Anything over 120 is a very high risk of heart disease, and you want to do everything possible to get this down through diet, lifestyle, and last resort, even medications. So this is more important than the traditional LDL measurements, and it's an essential test for anyone concerned about their heart health. The next marker is ferritin, and it's another inflammation marker, but it's also a key marker of your iron stores. And it can show whether you're deficient in iron or have iron overload. And the levels are different for men and women, but ideally you want to be in that 50 to 100 range for women, maybe 100 to 150 for men. And if you've got low levels of ferritin, it's associated with iron deficiency, and that can be anemia, and you want to check other markers like iron saturation percentage, transferrin, TIBC, but you also don't want to have high ferritin. High ferritin is associated with potentially inflammation or iron overload, and that can lead to oxidative damage, creating a lot of long-term health problems like liver, kidney, heart, everything associated with inflammation. So the third marker we're going to talk about is a very specific inflammation marker called hscrp, or high sensitive C-reactive protein. And that's a marker of inflammation in your body, and it's particularly useful for assessing things like cardiovascular risk, but it's also associated with many other health issues, for even things like rheumatoid arthritis and inflammatory bowel disease. You definitely want to be less than 1. 1 to 3 is like a moderate level, and over 3 is like high levels of inflammation, especially if it's there all the time. That can be caused by smoking, obesity, autoimmune conditions, and even high levels of exercise can do that. So whenever you're getting a blood test, I recommend don't do crazy amounts of exercise the day before your test, because that might temporarily raise your CRP levels. And that's not an issue. It's only if they're elevated like day in, day out. The fourth marker I'm going to talk about is insulin. And fasting insulin is an excellent early indicator of metabolic health. It can reveal insulin resistance before blood glucose levels become elevated, potentially identifying things like diabetes, prediabetes, and metabolic syndrome at an earlier stage. So there's no sort of universal agreed upon optimal range, but ideally you want to be below 10, and many people consider between 2 and 6 excellent. And you always should do this fasting, and often the blood tests, the reference range will be 0 to 25, and you don't want to be anywhere near 25. You also don't want to be too low in insulin. Low levels of insulin can sometimes increase sex hormone binding globulin, leading to low levels of testosterone or free testosterone. So you want to, ideally in that sort of, 4 to 6, 4 to 8 range is ideal. And it's a test that doctors often don't do. The fifth essential blood test I'm going to talk about today is the omega-3 index. This is a percentage of your EPA and DHA, two crucial omega-3 fatty acids in your red blood cell membranes. It's an indicator of your long-term omega-3 intake, and I find you want to be at least 8% and above. And this is associated with lower risk of death from cardiovascular disease, and if you have below 4, it shows an increased risk. It can be achieved through dietary changes such as increasing your fatty fish intake, but I find that most people are deficient in this unless they're taking an omega-3 supplement. I've seen people who eat, high sardine, high salmon diet, and they've got perfect omega-3 index levels. So it can be done through diet, but most people don't eat enough of these oily fish. Another important marker to test is uric acid. It's a waste product that can contribute to gout, kidney stones, and poor metabolic health. Normal ranges are in that 2.7 to 7 for women and 4 to 8 for men, but it's not necessarily lower the better, but you definitely don't want to be high. I would also check a full thyroid panel at least once. Most doctors only check TSH, but you want to check T4, free T3, and the thyroid antibodies, especially if you have a family history of thyroid problems. And if it comes back perfect, you may not check this every year, but anyone with low thyroid symptoms should get this checked, or if a family history. Another one you might check, especially if you're experiencing symptoms of hormonal imbalances, is the sex hormones. This includes estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, both free and total, sex hormone binding globulin, LH, FSH, and DHEA. This goes for men and women. Women need to check testosterone, men need to check estrogen. And imbalances in the hormones can lead to a wide range of symptoms, and often it can be fixed through even just diet, lifestyle changes. So that's another one to check. For instance, imbalances estrogen, progesterone, or imbalance in the ratio can lead to a lot of menstrual cycle issues, perimenopausal problems, while low testosterone can impact energy, libido, muscle mass. As I said, and that's important for both men and women. I hope this video shed some light on some crucial health markers that are often overlooked. And if you're interested in getting these done, at Planet Naturopath, we offer a wide range of comprehensive testing packages that includes these markers. And I can help you analyze the results. And what I often recommend is scheduling a consultation, and I can help customize a package just for you. I work with clients around the world. There's also a lot of private labs that you can get these done now. And so if you want to just do this off your own back, there's places like Ultra Labs and Any Lab Test now in the US. There's places in Australia you can get it done. There's Optimal DX in the UK. Vibrant Wellness ships to most places around the world, and we can get this lab testing done. I'll put a link to the lab tests I recommend, and including a downloadable PDF with all of the lab tests and how they can help you in the description below. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. As I said at the start, often your doctor will only do the basic tests, and they're great to do, but if you've got a family history of heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, there's many more tests that you can do to help understand where your health is at so you can prevent these problems from happening. So now that you know this information about the lab test, watch this next video about the best supplements to take and how you know whether you may be deficient in certain vitamins or minerals.